welcome. Man, why you sound extra low though? Is that just me? Welcome. I think that's just me. Hold up. Boom, 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 boom. Testing. Sorry about that, folks. I couldn't hear myself. I like to hear me talk. If you didn't know. But welcome everybody to the newest episode of Wealth for Generations. We're at episode number 54. Man, we're climbing up that ladder, climbing up. But today we've got some exciting guests with us today. I feel like I sound really low. Can you guys hear me okay?
Hey, really good.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess I'm just used to being like loud in my headphones, but this is fine too. I'll be able to hear tonight after we're done with the show. So that's awesome. Before I get into the introduction real quick though, I just want to double check. Jimmy, did you get those pictures right real quick? I sent to the email. If you can get those, well, I don't need them right this second, but I just want to have them ready, sir. But let's get a round of applause for my engineer of all engineers, Mr. Jimmy. Boom.
You can go back to Brown Giant. I don't like.
You don't like Boom Boom?
Yeah, you can go back to Brown Giant. I'm not even.
You sure you want
I'm
me to
not
go
even
back to
as
Brown
big as he
Giant?
makes me seem. Like I'm just saying
He's
that's all the viewers.
7'6",
Bro, I'm like
325.
I'm like
all
6'2",
muscle.
6'3".
7'6", 325, all muscle.
I am like 6'2", 6'3" with bad eating habits
He's
and
just-
terrible financial decisions.
He's just shy and humble. You know,
I am.
he likes to go to the local YMCA and
I
tippy
hoop all
toe
these old
dunk.
dudes.
Tippy toe
I do
dunk.
go to the gym and hoop all old people, bro.
Yep,
It's like
see?
the funniest thing to see.
He goes to the local YMCA and tippy toe
Hey,
dunks
young
on all the
fella,
old people.
Hey, how old are you? 18. Wow.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
See, look, I hate. This is what I hate. This what, you tell you the line I hate. Man, if I had your height, I'd be in the league right now.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I think I say that sometimes. When I be looking at cats,
If I was your height.
man, if I had that size trust, I'd be in the league. No,
Yeah, all right. Okay.
no, that's a
And we all got wishful thinking, man. We all got wishful thinking.
got to.
Sometimes I like to look at The Rock and be like, man, if I was as big as you, shit, I'd probably have every damn thing I want.
Yeah, not if I was big as
Every
Rock.
damn thing.
I don't know. I don't think I would.
Actually, I
be
don't
built like The Rock.
Yeah, that's.
I'll be built like
That's
LeBron.
uncomfortable.
LeBron just built different.
I would feel sorry for Jess,
When you
honestly.
spending $2-3 million a year on your body,
LeBron scares me. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
to you.
your
I'll be
body
afraid of
don't look
LeBron.
like that. Like
If
you-
I see
Right?
LeBron running
Like,
up on me when he's coming down the lane, it's over with.
he's genetically
Why
modified.
didn't you jump up
He's
with him?
definitely
You
female.
know exactly why, sir. You this.
You're gonna cower down like
Absolutely not.
Damon Wayans, like,
Like,
You remember what do you say? If you see me in the forest, find a grizzly bear, help the bear.
if you see me
Alright.
fighting a bear, help the bear.
Yeah, that's LeBron.
Mystical.
LeBron built different, bro.
I'm telling you, genetically modified. Because when you get touted as a freshman in high school, how many kids actually make it?
Right.
None. Damn,
Right.
near not very many. And he actually took it from freshman year of high school to where he is now.
Right.
Come on, man. He's
Yeah,
a robot.
ridiculous. Yeah.
He's a robot.
yeah. There's some USDA something
I'm telling you,
in that
man.
bloodstream.
He got everything. Like he's strong as hell, but good hops. Like how the hell you jump that high and you 6'9"? I like, bro.
There's just some phenomenon sometimes. Like there's Anderson Silva. That guy's a phenomenon. You know, just a phenomenon.
Mike,
Mike.
hey, Mike.
One of my favorite.
I'll be
guys.
watching videos and it'll be like comparing like boxers at like 15. Mike Tyson looked
Oh,
like
Mike
me when
Tyson.
he was 15. Grown ass man.
he won it, what, at 18?
I was watching
He was the
his
world champ. At
who
19,
I forgot who he
right?
was fighting.
19, was it?
I think it was like 18, 19.
I
He
forgot
was
who
world
he was
champ.
fighting, but it was his first fight out of prison, and he looked big as hell.
Prison Mike. That
Oh
was when
my
Mike was in
gosh!
Mike was-
And I'm just seeing the stare down, and he just staring at
My
it like.
favorite.
I feel like Prison Mike was the scariest
Hey,
Mike because
Mike-
he's like, "I'll eat your fucking children."
Bro.
Praise all to Allah.
No, the best though was like right now. The best though is they got that meme going around where he's like, when they say, "Get him in a straight jacket." Have you guys seen that one? And
I
he
don't think
turns
so.
around, he's like, "What? Get you in a straight jacket?" And he just goes in, "I'll fuck you in the ass, you
Oh,
pussy.
I think that's when
I'll
he's in the
fuck
all
you till
black.
You love me, pussy." Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
bro, fucking I was
Absolutely
like,
not.
"What?"
If
he's like,
I think
"Oh
there
my
was there
God."
actually a fighter who like when the bell rang, he just walked out the ring when he was about to. I think I forgot who it was.
I don't know if that was a Tyson fight, but I do.
You know
believe there
what
was
I'm
a
talking
there
about.
was a fight though one time
Absolutely not.
where the dude was just like, "Nah, I think I'm I'm gonna just go
I'm
ahead.
gonna pass on this
Throw
one.
this
I was
L.
like, really not.
This money ain't worth it.
But we are getting a little sidetracked. Let's get into our second introduction. We got the lovely power couple in today. We got Travis and Debbie coming in today. We have our personal trainer and dietitian coming in today. We got some food experts and
Oh,
some
damn, I'm eating cake in front of them. I can tell they just judging me.
Hey man, it's a
They're
little
like, look
portion.
at this
It's a
nigga
little
over here.
portion.
Right. It's
Moderation. It's a little portion.
When,
you
I,
know?
first, when I
princess.
first met her,
Just don't let them know that you got 3 of them over there. I mean,
I don't.
I'ma tell you what.
I do cut my eating. I used to eat like 2 Subway sandwiches.
so she helped me understand that we could eat snacks. When I first met her, when we first got together, she would be on doing My Fitness Pal.
Mhm.
Sticking to My Fitness Pal, eating her meals, doing right. And I'm like, keeping a little lean body. But then every night she's like, I get to have 3 Oreos tonight. I'm like, how the fuck are you eating Oreos? And you on this little diet? Well, My Fitness Pal says da 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 da, and if I eat da 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 da, I can do this. So I was like, so I can't eat snacks. So hey, there you go.
Hey, there's a little
There you go. You
reward.
good.
A little
You good.
reward system.
Just keep
But
it
I
at,
will
just,
say-
just keep it at that one.
Like I
I
said
will
though,
say,
moderation though.
Yeah,
oh,
just
this
keep
what-
it at
that's
that
what I'm
one.
about to say. That's what I'm about to say. I will say this though. I am proud of myself enough because I am in. I'm not going to say like I'm like in Michael B. Jordan shape, but I if me and Elijah, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's
Stood
in better
next to
shape
each
than
other,
me.
I'd look like a midget.
If we play, like I'm in basketball shape. I'm able to run up and down the court easily. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm able to do that. But I don't think I look good doing it. But I can do
I
that.
don't know.
motherfucker.
I don't know if I could do more than 2 right now.
Really up
Like
and down?
actually running up and down?
Like
More
sprint.
than 2 sprints? Sprints?
Bro,
I can jog it out.
It's just like it's
I
to
could
the
probably
point.
jog it
Plus,
out.
I'm the center, so you have to be the first one down court. So it's
Yeah.
like, bro,
Yeah,
you gotta beat all these little niggas down the court, bro.
But I used to do mid distance. Can we jog? Can we jog like 3 courts? I'll beat you if we jog
Stride.
3 courts. I'll stride it out.
Yes, sir.
But sprinting, I don't know. I was never really much of a sprinter.
I
I was
don't
on
know.
the 4x4 1 year.
That's why I love playing sports. Sports is like
1
such
year.
a different. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it gives you such a high. You know what I mean? Like that's why I play basketball of all sports because it gives you
Mhm.
such a high. You don't even realize how much running you're doing until you sit your
So
ass
you
on that
out of
bench.
breath.
You sit your ass on the bench. You're like, damn, this third quarter already. 12-minute
But
quarters.
we're about to get into the first segment of the show, and it's pretty much going to be the whole show. The next couple of shows, I actually want to kind of focus on this for a little bit. Oh, damn. I done set my own stuff up. Oh, thank you, sir.
That's what
Thank
you get. I was about to press applause for you.
That's for me. That one's for me. I want my own self. Sorry, I'm just used to his big old giant ship fingers coming
My hands
through.
aren't that big.
It's like a brown yacht coming through, trying to touch the womp womp button on me. So I tried to flick it away and I was messed up.
Let me just say this
But,
real quick. No, I do not want these nasty ass barbecue bars you're trying to give me. Let's just say that to my girlfriend real quick if she's
Let
watching.
Exel know. He'll come. He'll do a taste test on his show.
Exel, I'm canceling your show if you give me some barbecue bars, bro.
But yeah, so today we are getting physical. Today we're talking about staying active and making sure we're putting in the right type of things in our bodies today. So this whole episode and the next couple of episodes are kind of going to be a health is wealth episode instead of just a segment today. But as usual, I want you guys to know that the Health is Wealth segment is brought to you by Jessica Marrero and Jessica Rose as Elevated Souls. They say we're here to elevate your souls. You can contact Elevated Souls at elevatedsouls@gmail.com, or you can call them at 480-269-2649. And that email is ELIVE, the number 8, D souls, SOULS @gmail.com. So we didn't have a specific entry from Miss Jessica today because, like I said, we're kind of doing a whole health is wealth segment or episode today. So we'll just go into the next segment, which is asking the masses. Only got one in this week. And I was actually kind of surprised. I thought I had some more out of shape peers, but I guess I'm not as rare as I thought. But I kind of want Jimmy to answer this one too.
Oh, is it the one you asked on Facebook?
Yeah, did you already answer it on the
I
Facebook?
did.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Asking the masses today was, can you touch your toes? Why or why not?
I can't touch.
That's the only thing I don't think anybody put in there, though. Nobody really said why or why not. But
everybody just said yes.
Travis, Debbie, can you guys touch your toes still?
I can, but I do yoga, and I
Yeah.
used to be really inflexible before that. So
Before you started doing the yoga?
Yeah.
Okay. How long you been doing yoga?
Since January.
Oh, so it's a kind of a newer thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Congratulations then, passing the touch your toes test now. How about you, Travis? You touching the toes?
I touch toes. I've been stretching for a long time, so it's one of those things that I actually try to work to get my palms down. I'm almost down to the to the palms on the ground.
I want to get back to there, man. I want to get back to there. It's hard. I used to pride myself on that too, but that's back when I was actual athlete. I used to be that flexible. But I kind of had high hopes with the both of you since you guys are pretty active people. But Jimmy, what about you, sir? I mean, you got to be, right? You got to be able to. You basketball player. You running them laps and everything. Can you touch your toes?
It's like I was saying earlier. They make you stretch your ass off before you even run on court. Like, bro, they make you stretch stuff like you don't even know they can stretch type shit. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I can touch my toes.
Yeah.
Plus, I have long arms, so that helps too.
Hey.
Yeah. I think that kind of helps me out too. Mine aren't overly long, but I think they're a little bit longer. A little bit longer.
Short legs, I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
hey, it goes both ways. You know what I mean? If you got long arms, it helps. If you got shorter legs, that helps too. You know, helps both ways. But let's get a round of applause for being able to touch our toes. I mean, it's something small, but it's also something great. You know, that flexibility. But after that, after asking the masses, we're going to go ahead and dive right into the nitty gritty. We're going to get into the wealthy wisdom. And that's going to be kind of digging into what you guys got going on, kind of showcasing your knowledge and stuff like that. So first and foremost, these are going to be kind of like double questions. And I didn't really critique it so much. So if you got to critique it a little bit in your head for your profession, to make it fit, feel free. So first question is for both of you as well. Feel free to answer however you like. What made you decide to get into the field of health and wellness in a world of so many options? So like what made you choose the field that you guys are in opposed to doing a different field of fitness or health and wellness or something like that?
I can go.
All right.
So I got into nutrition. I had an eating disorder in high school, and I went through recovery, and I wanted to be a dentist. So I chose nutrition as my area of study. And all of the courses to become a dentist, they're the same for a dietitian. So all the sciences. But I ended up just deciding, I think I want to be a dietitian, help other people. And I love what I do. So
yeah.
I can elaborate, but.
And it's a lot more fun, too, I feel like. I feel like dentists get they get a bad rap, you know? A lot of people are afraid of going to the dentist. They're afraid of possibly getting shots or being told they got to get their teeth pulled or what have you, you know? So dietitian is a lot more like, oh, yeah, I'm going to just go see my dietitian. A lot better. And for you, Travis?
Well, luckily, I mean, it's been my life. Like, my dad was a coach. So, you know, I grew up in as a little boy in the weight room watching the high school kids playing, getting in the gym, going that. Like I was telling somebody the other day, one of my favorite things when I was young, or to this day even too, it's gonna sound kind of gross, but my favorite place was the locker room of the boys' locker room. Once like you're in the middle of it, like maybe like 3 or 4 weeks into the season after the shoulder pads start getting stinky, and you just walk into that locker room and that funk just hits you. Just
that smell of work,
of just grass and disgustingness. Like for some sick reason, I learned to love that smell. So fitness has been in my life forever. It's funny because I got out of fitness and got into working just a regular. You know, I worked in the mall. I was a store manager in the mall, and so that was I would just work out. So fitness wasn't really part of my life for about 15 years in the sense of actually.
That's a long gap. You said 15?
Yeah, that was in the mall for 15, a long gap. 16, 17 years.
Or big gap.
I worked out but I just never, it wasn't anything I taught, but I've always like had that inkling like, man, I would like to go into fitness. I need to do something with fitness. Like I just kept saying that, you know, and then some things happened to work out to where I was able to get into the gym, and now here we are.
Nice. Awesome. And then I'm not sure if I totally dropped it. I think I might have did. But Travis here is a personal trainer, and Miss Debbie is a dietitian. Just in case you guys are still wondering, I think I mentioned it, but just in case I didn't, there you go. Are there any particular credentials that are absolutely needed for your line of work? I remember you were saying there's some classes you had to take for the dietitian, and I do believe there's like a basically, or at least a basic certificate for the personal trainer. So is there anything you guys would like to elaborate as far as credentials? And if not, is there anything that you guys have extra that complements your profession that's not necessarily a mandatory credential, but it's just something that might help you in your profession?
Yeah, so to become a dietitian, it's kind of a lot of work.
Mhm.
So you have to get your bachelor's degree, and then you have to apply for an internship, and it's really competitive. It shouldn't be,
Mm.
but it is. And then you pay for that internship, and it's unpaid, and then you're paying for
Oh,
it for a
that's
full year.
kind of sucky.
Yeah, I love being a dietitian, but I feel like if I could go back, I might have
Mhm.
chosen a different path. But anyway, so you do your internship and then you sit for a boards exam and then you become a dietitian. But as of 2024, I believe, you have to have your master's. I got
Oh.
my master's just because I didn't want to have to go back to school.
Mhm.
So,
Oh, you didn't want them to try to be like, "Hey, so we were looking at your paperwork and
yeah. Well, and it's like they grandfathered everybody in before 2024, so I wouldn't have ever had to get the master's, but I just didn't want to be in a position where I'm applying for a job and somebody else has a master's and I'm like,
Mm.
"Damn, I should have got my master's."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
I
yeah,
get it.
that's what's involved. So a lot of work. So dietitians, I feel like they're underpaid for sure unless you get in that right field,
Mhm.
or excuse me, that right position, but dietitians really care about people, so
Mhm.
it's a good field to be in.
That's good. That's nice. That's nice. Very insightful. I didn't realize that you guys had it so tough that way. I thought it was more of along the lines as a personal trainer, as more of basically just kind of, all right. Well, I don't know all the ins and outs. I just
Right.
know the basically getting into a gym and having
Right.
the certificate part. I'm not sure because you're kind of on your own, right? Or do
Yes.
you
Well, I work with
work
the
with the
gym, but
gym?
I'm also do some things where I'm on my own too. So it's like kind of you got like myself, like I consider I have like 3 jobs. So like
Mhm.
well, I'm not gonna go into my security stuff, but I also with working at a gym and doing training for people at a gym, I go to different detox centers and recovery centers for drug addicts and
Mhm.
alcoholics. And I do training for them. We'll go in, you look at the mind, body, soul, the spirit, and then the physical side of things when it comes to, the body side of it when it comes to, recovery. And so that's where we get to come in and help to get the body back to feeling somewhat, of what it should be feeling.
Mhm.
Because when you're unfortunately when they're on those drugs or the alcohol, it just deteriorates.
Mhm.
It takes away from just takes away from their body. So it's kind of cool to be able to go in and help them get that back. So that's kind of fun stuff. Now to the certificate itself, depending on the certificate itself. I mean, depending on the person, it's not that hard. They make it very easy. Like some
Mhm.
of the tests are even open book. So like you can
Mhm.
take the test and it's open book. You have there's multiple different avenues you can go. So like when I say that, like you have a company called uh there's ISSA, there's NASM, there's ACE, there's NCEP. Those things are just different companies that will help you to get certified towards personal training.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you get to choose. The 2 best ones they consider is NASM, NASM, or NASM, and
Mhm.
then ISSA. Those are the 2 best ones. Where NASM goes more into the science side of things, a little bit
Mhm.
more deeper into um, yeah, really just more of the science side of it.
Mhm.
Where ISSA is kind of more of an athletic based thought process.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong; it doesn't. It's not like it doesn't get into the science but they do. You'll look at the lines; they kind of consider NASM a little step ahead of
Mhm.
ISSA. But I have ISSA myself,
Mhm.
and and it feels like, and then too, to get the CPT is depending on, there's a 10-week program.
Mhm.
You could in 10 weeks you can get get your personal training. There's other programs that are quicker, that's not as in depth. Then you have NASM with, I think they might have a certain program that's like that, but like I said, they're a lot tougher. They used to be where you couldn't do a home test, where you have to go to a building to go take the test. Where ISSA, you could be at the house and take the test.
Oh yeah, because
So,
they're trying to make sure you actually know. You're not just Googling everything.
And but now because of COVID, made it to where some I don't know if they've changed it back, but where NASM can take their test at home. But other than that too, like just having basic knowledge. Like I didn't have a I didn't have a certificate for a long time.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get it, but it was just the basic knowledge that I knew throughout time. Also too, you look at, if I'm able to get myself to a specific point, you can help others get to that, just doing a lot of what you did. And then, like I said, having the background in sports and athletics my whole life, I've been building workouts for people for a very long time.
Yes.
Before I even got into the fitness world, when I was still, working in the mall, I was building workouts for people, doing things like that at that point. So that's what helped me to get in. But cool thing is you actually, once you get that CPT, you can, some of the things that you thought you knew, it helps solidify the fact that it's true. Like, oh crap, I knew that. That's awesome.
Right.
And some things you didn't know, it helps you to learn the things you don't know. Helps you to set straight the things you thought you knew. Helps that.
Speculation and stuff like
the
that.
things that I was like, I thought it was this, but it's that. And then I mean, like just making sure you do your research. Like you could honestly, like I said, yes, you need keep yourself safe. With anything, it's good to have a cert.
Yes.
But there's a lot of people out there that are making it without a certification. That are probably making 6, 7, could be making 6 figures, if not more, without a certification. They they research, or what happened is they had their cert, it lapsed,
expired or something,
and then they just like, I'm not getting that stuff again. You know what I mean? Like after that, you just got the picture, like, hey, you see, I got it. Like I've had it for people, like as long as you are, working towards building more knowledge and not trying to just stay complacent with where you're at, that's always the biggest thing, is trying to build. That's why myself, if I wanted to, I could probably, like, honestly, I don't train a lot of people at my gym, due to the fact that I do a little bit more with my other job. So I don't necessarily need to be there, but if I get out of the gym, I feel as if I'm gonna lose some things. Okay. Like, so things that are new, things that are current, what's going on in the gyms today,
as far as like knowledge and stuff like that.
Because if I just go to my detox centers or my recovery centers, things like that, nothing against that, but they're not going out there to the field in 2, 3, 4 weeks and 2, 3, 4 months, maybe in 2, 3, 4 years. They're not trying to go be athletes. They're just more getting their body back. Hell, a lot of times in that position, they never even worked out in their life, or they worked out and their addiction has taken them to the point to where it's been years since they have,
and they're just like at an activity and mobility level.
So all I have to do is just get them moving, get them grooving, get them going. And unfortunately, I don't need to learn new for that. Like I can stay right here, because as people leave, there's always going to be more and more and more that just keep coming in, and and their bodies can't even handle a lot of the times that next level stuff. When I'm getting them, their bodies can't handle all that extra.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I would lose some knowledge. I feel, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that guy. I'm 40 years old, bro. I'm done with the books. Like like I'm just now starting to get back into reading a little bit. So that's why staying in the gym for me helps me to keep current. But yeah, no, it's as long as you, really just depends on basic knowledge,
knowledge and that discipline to keep it going. Yeah, and I'm glad you went so in depth about it too, because I feel like in the beginning I did make it, at least to me, looking back at it, the words I chose originally made it seem like it was kind of an easy thing. And it's not necessarily a pushover thing. You still got to have your knowledge, and you still got to be careful about what you're doing, because you have someone's safety in your hands. Like if you could do an exercise wrong and end up paralyzed or broken bone or dislocation or any kind of thing. There's all kinds of, and trust me too, like these people out here that aren't fully certified and might be trying something new. We've seen all these fake kung fu masters and random social media people working out and using the equipment wrong. Like, you got to be knowledgeable. You got to be knowledgeable. You got to do, or my new favorite word of the year, you got to do your due diligence and make sure you're knowledgeable about what you're doing. So I thank you very much for going in depth on that, for sure. But is there any I know you said you did get your master's, so you didn't need to, but you did get it because of the new law. Is there anything else that either of you might have extra credentials that might complement the profession that you're in right now?
So, well, I can tell you something I'm working towards.
Okay.
That I'm really excited about. I want to be a certified intuitive eating counselor. So,
Oh, I've never even heard of that one.
yeah, I'm really pumped about it because kind of at the beginning, when you're going through school for dietetics or to become a dietitian, they're teaching you so much about calorie counting, just really by the book, but it doesn't really always work in real life. And I feel like a lot of people aren't going to be successful calorie counting. I feel like diets aren't successful. I mean, for some people, diets work, but what I'd like to do and what I would do with my patients that I'm currently seeing is trying to teach them how to trust themselves around food because people don't trust themselves around food. And that's what leads to people binging and restricting. And I could kind of go on, but that's something that I feel like will really help me as a dietitian. So yeah, intuitive eating is kind of the goal, I guess, or I guess the field, maybe
The field.
a better way to put it.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Is there anything that you've got, Travis, that's extra that could any kind of credentials that might benefit your profession?
I mean, other than credentials wise, here's the cool thing is if you so you have your normal certified personal trainer, but if you build up and get more more, so like you get your CPT, then if you get your nutrition certificate, if you get more certificates, you actually can make more money. So
Yeah,
the more
yeah.
certificates you have, the more money you can make. You can get to the point to where you're a master trainer. So that'd be like having, I think that's 3 certs and then 2 like electives or like little add-ons that you can have that's not as big as like a nutrition or strength and training or certified personal trainer or something like that. That's a way to kind of build in a sense. Like, so if you want to make more money, you'll go out there and you'll get more certifications to add on to make more money. But other than that, like to have anything extra, not necessarily.
Yeah.
But if you do get the extra, that'll help you to make more money.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And I feel like it's kind of my background was in cooking for a long time. I feel like it's kind of similar to that. Like you can go out and I've done a lot of jobs, like you're saying, like where my food handler card has been expired, but I knew some chefs and they needed some help, and I went and did like certain events and stuff on the low. There's also been times where I've had a chef make a deal with Shamrock, and actually that's how I got my manager's food handler's card, and I got mine for free actually. So but yeah, there's just little small things. Once I got that manager level, then I could demand more money, just like you were saying with the other add-ons to the CPT. You can kind of be in a position to demand more money because it shows that you have more knowledge. So that's awesome. I love those extra little inputs. So as far as your guys' profession goes, how well, for you, Travis, as a personal trainer, how do you typically track your fitness goals, and what type of motivation do you feel like you bring to the table? Like if you could put your motivation into a characteristic.
So like fitness goals, I mean, tracking is gonna be what they look like. Like, every day, like how
So
the
you're
clothes
more
are
of like
fit.
hey man, I want you to make sure you, before you get in the shower, like check yourself out, make sure so we can see this progress.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I
like
mean?
little things like that. Always seeing that, but also like I definitely have one. I have a young lady that, I mean, we're real adamant month by month. We are checking, doing measurements, doing the body fat every month, doing the weight, and it's like clockwork. So we're seeing differences, and it's really cool because I was just talking to her about it, and I was like, man, this is really cool being able to track because I have like right now, just somehow, like, I've worked my way into, training kind of a lot of older. So like we're looking at like 65 and above, 70-year olds. So they're not necessarily looking to track. They're not worried about that. Like hell, they even got their own nutritionist. Like they got that side of it. They just have me to come give them a workout and help them, stay active type stuff. So like I have some, where you don't have to really track as much. It's just more of they're just happy to have someone to help them keep them moving. How do you feel every day? Like you said, how do you look? See yourself in the mirror. How are clothes fitting? But I have this one lady that at 59, 60 lost 100 and something pounds, like 130 something, 40 pounds, whatever. And
congratulations to her.
Yeah, no.
If you're watching, you're probably not, but if you're watching, if you happen to catch it, congratulations.
At 59, 60. So when someone says they can't do it, she's doing it,
Right.
And luckily it was so I was a fitness manager. So it was my trainer, it was my lead trainer at a gym that I was a fitness manager at. That's who she started with. Then when she ended up leaving, now I have her, and we changed her whole thought process of what she was doing in the workouts. Now we're over here putting muscle on this lady at freaking, she's like 61, about to be 62
she's gonna
next
be like
month,
that,
and she's getting jacked. Like it's to the point to where she's walking around and people are like, man, what are you doing? Like, who's your trainer? Like, what's going on? Like, she's got all this, just feels so great.
That's when you got to walk by and do one of those like really loud, blatant, like, "What's up, Becky? Yeah, it's Travis, your personal trainer. Yeah, looking good."
But nah, she kills it. But she but it's one of those things where, just being able to see that side of it, help them see that with the numbers. Oh, getting back to where I was at, it was cool because I actually am seeing some change. So now where we were always losing, there's some things growing, getting bigger, maybe even getting a little heavier, but there's some other things that are staying lower. So now we were talking about it, and I was like, hey, I need you to do some measurements. So when I see you on Monday, we can, see if there's been some change or what. And then we're going to really check the next 2 months, because I think now we're starting to, in a sense, I was telling her, raise her floor. Okay. So you got your ceiling, but then your floor, how far low do you get? But now we're getting down to where we're raising her floor, where she's gaining weight. All right. Like she's like, man,
but it's healthy weight.
But her body fat is still dang near the same. She's putting on pounds, but the body fat is the same.
So she's building muscle.
Boom.
And she's not really losing as fast.
There we go. So like I'm letting her know now. The thing is this: from when I started the gym, got back into the gym after my 5 years of being off with some issues, was about 2012. So from 2012 till today, I could say I've been to the gym 4 days a week, every week of the year since 2012.
Nice.
Now,
congratulations. That's dedication right there.
There's reasons. I was single for a long time. I don't have no kids. Luckily when I found her, she's a personal trainer. So
you didn't have to cut it out.
I lost a lot of people in my life because of it. So I'll be honest, there's reasons. But I could say that. And within that time, I've been able to kind of, I felt like I would be higher than where I was. When I saw myself at that point, I was like, shit, I'm about to be 250 at this time. But I'm only I started about 185, 190. Now, and that's like, if I say I want to feel lean and let me get down. 180, 190 is where I was probably at 2012 at a base weight. Now when I'm at my base weight, like if I were to fast and not eat and just say, forget it and get down, I'm probably not going to drop lower than about 212. So I went from about 190 to 212.
Nice.
As a base weight. So what I did is I raised my floor. So that's what we're looking at her is, are we raising her floor? And that's, and for me, I never tracked, so I could never see it until now, which is unfortunately 13, 14, 15 years later. And I'm looking back now and I see that's what it was, where if you were to actually track it in the moment, you could see what's going on in the moment. But then you have those people that don't work out enough, that don't do enough, that actually tracking regresses. So like working in a gym, having that type of when you're in that kind of a training setting, I love it. At a corporate gym, let me take that back, working at a corporate gym, I love it. But everybody, it's kind of like a quick fix. You know, people feel like I'm just going to go in here, get a trainer real quick, get my stuff going, and get my fitness rolling, and I'm going to be good. That's the type of person that's going there right away. That person has a mindset of the quick fix. Like, I could just go here and I could just do this and I'll get this and it'll be like that. And then when they get their asses in there, they find out how hard it really is.
Right.
And that's why people don't last in the gym. Because they like, oh, this is tougher than I thought. Hell, when I was back then, I thought I was about to be 250. I'm barely 220. Man, on a good, like right now, I'm like 215. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the thought process you have when you come in is so up here, and then you actually start hitting that iron and find out like, I don't look that different than I did last year. You look at 1 year to the next year, you're like, I don't look that different. Hell, going to the gym is the definition of insanity.
Yep.
Going to the place, doing the same thing day after day, getting the same stanking result.
Yep.
And you don't notice it until 2-3 years down the line. You know, so that's where tracking does come into play, but it also can, like I said, it can hurt for those people that don't do enough.
Yeah.
They're not going to see the changes.
And then you don't see anything, and it's disappointing.
And it's disappointing because they don't understand that it is the eating habits that have to change. It is going to be some sleeping. It is going to be some of this. It's going to be some of that. It's a lot of things that they got to do. You know, well, Jimmy doesn't have to do all that. Well, Jimmy's been doing that shit for 10,
Jimmy's
12
just
years.
Naturally 7'10".
You know what I mean? Like, my man's been rocking. It's funny. I said I forgot the name was Jimmy. So it's funny but it's like, but you know, when I thought that, like, well, dang, I ain't doing that. I made more than what they do. Why they look like that?
Right.
I see. Oh, now I'm starting to understand that word. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this is for my girl Jess Marrero, Elevated Soul. CMOS is the key.
Yep. That CMOS does a lot. It definitely does, man. It definitely does.
I'm out here trying to pump. That CMOS is, I don't know what it does, but it does something. It's to the point to where it's almost low key scary because I can't tell you what it does.
It's doing
but it
something.
Just does something.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's kind of how I am whenever people ask me about it. It's weird because I didn't really start taking it with any kind of expectations. She started doing it, and I was just like, you know what? We're here. I'm hearing so much about it. Let me just start incorporating it. Now, for me, it's when I go off my regiment, then I'm like, why am I tired?
Feeling different.
Why do I feel weak?
Yep,
why am I like? And then I'm like, oh. I haven't been taking my CMOS because everyone always asks, like, "Oh, well, you're doing it. Well, what has changed?" I don't really know what has changed, honestly, but I know when I stop doing it,
I feel
stuff changes.
Yes, like, man, it's wild.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that because I say that all the time. Hell, I tell her that she's, man, I don't know what it is, but I tell her I love it.
It just makes you feel so just good. Just feel overall just better,
balanced, and just like
glowy. And I just feel like my energy levels are better.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one, especially for me. Like I just do a lot. Well, we all do a lot. You know what I mean? In our own rights, but yeah, it's definitely a gold mine. There's a reason why it's trendy, but it's so worldly trendy. It's not like an American trend thing. It's like everyone in the world is starting to get up on CMOS, you know, or has been, you know, because there's other places where they have been. What was that? You gonna get yours, Jimmy.
Oh, man.
You gonna get yours.
It's gonna change your life.
I've been trying, but you know, somebody's been slacking on me.
And then Ms. Debbie, how do you typically track your clients' goals when they're coming to you for dietitian tips and tricks?
So this is an interesting question. I feel like we have a different philosophy on this, so this is kind of funny to share. So when I started becoming a dietitian, kind of the tracking, that was what I was really big on, the logging. What are they having? Calories, all of that. And I feel like my stance has changed a lot as I've grown as a dietitian, where number one, I just want to know how they're feeling. We don't even always check their weight. I know a lot of times people think I'm going to the dietitian, I'm going to get weighed. If I don't lose weight, I'm going to be in trouble. It's really not about that. It's like, do you have a good relationship with food? Do you feel like things are balanced? Do you feel like you can go out to eat? You know, do you know about portions? Kind of all of that. So in terms of tracking, it's more how are they feeling and what does their relationship with food look like is more what I would say.
So you're more on a, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. You're more on a emotional and physical tracking opposed to a number tracking and metric system. So that is very, very different. Awesome though, but I enjoy it. So how would you guys say, if you were to put your motivation into a characteristic, how would you say your motivation is? Like, are you one of those personal trainers that are like, well, actually, now that you say you got the older people, you probably aren't one of those extreme ones that like, come on, just one more. But
it's actually funny you say that because I am.
because you still are.
I'm not like so.
Like, I don't care if you 22
I'm
or
not worried.
78.
Well,
Get
'cause
that bar up.
What I found out though is I can't treat them like they old. You know, when I first went into it, you know, I'm doing these
You
little
are
patty
all
cake
fragile and yeah.
workouts, and you know, you got to be smart. You have to be safe, and you got to be those type of things. But they don't want to be treated like that. They want to be, you know, they want to get out there and like we know the levels and what they can handle, but they want to get out there. So I'm that guy. I'm bent down on my knees. I'm in the face. Like you're doing squats. I'm checking out them hamstrings. I'm checking out glutes. I'm checking out you know, I'm all
Nice.
over. Like it doesn't matter because, you know, like I said, I have my lady who's I that's just she's just every time I see her, she's like, man, I just keep getting compliments on, you know, how I'm looking and my muscles and da 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 da, and how people want to do this and that. So I am a high motivation. I'm hype. I'm gonna be in your face. We're gonna push. We're gonna grind. Let's go. We're gonna get more. Hey, I told you 10. We're gonna get 12. Let's go. Let's get 3 more. Like, but you know, it's still within what they can handle.
Yeah,
You know, the weights are what they can handle. You know, I don't have them doing, you know, super heavy, high. Well, I'm not even gonna say that because I'm teaching like so power cleans. You know, you thinking someone that's about 7, I'm not gonna teach them no hang clean, no power clean, where you gotta bring the bar up to the
You're still doing power cleans in the 70s?
Please, I got my old man doing some hang cleans right now.
Nice.
You know, but he still plays softball. You know,
so
and
he's still pretty active.
So you gotta like, and my thing is that I really want to dig that I'm starting a book I'm reading, I'm getting in more is performance training and understanding that, you know, even at that age, the problem that he's having is because I'm not helping train in the things that he needs right now.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause he
he's
needs that
gotten away. Like, and
explosiveness, like
if
power
anything, he
cleans.
might not have ever have trained like this. And if he's losing the umph that he's had before, we've got to find a way to rebuild that umph. So my new thought process with him is I'm making sure that we're doing a lot more explosive things. Because at first it was more like form technique. Let me make sure he's got that. But now I'm seeing is we got to get explosive. Like you know, if you're having a problem putting that pop on the ball from the bat, it's because you don't have that explosive synergistic body motion going on. So you don't understand how to do something and control the body while you're doing a motion. You still got to be able to control. So that's why I'm like, if you're gonna be out there doing that, we got to do this.
Right.
But again, I'll moderate it. Like say if I want to get one of my older ladies on it, I'll get a lighter bar.
Right.
I'll get more of the PVC bar. You know, so that they're going through the motions. So they're still going through the motions. They just aren't dealing with the weight. Or
actually, that's a good idea.
they're
There
not
you go. I
doing
don't know if you're watching, Leonie. There you go, though. My friend, she just what was it? Oh, she just did deadlifts for the first time ever. She's this freaking fitness mom that's going crazy. She's a mom of like 5, I believe. And she's just like the last, I want to say maybe about 3 years, she's just been gym rat crazy. But she posted on her Instagram, I think it was her Instagram, that she did deadlift for the first time. And I was like kind of encouraged. I was like, all right, cool. Now you just got to get the power cleans. She's like, oh, power cleans.
Yeah, tell her start with hang cleans.
Hang cleans?
Start with the hang cleans.
And that's the ones when you're already standing up, right?
Yeah, you're already standing down and you kind of do a quick little bend of the knee and then you bring it up. So start with the hang clean, then go to the power clean.
Okay.
I should have said that. I have my guy with hang cleans right now. He hasn't gotten to the power cleans yet.
Oh, he's not fully there yet.
Yeah, no, but I have him on the deadlifts. You know, and
so he's getting that full, the same thing. Full range motion.
Exactly, but we just breaking it up right now because you know, I that's where I'm not comfortable yet to go into that full motion together.
Yeah, because we gotta watch that hip.
We gotta watch all of that. My man's got some knees that are new and all sorts of stuff. So, but I mean, it's awesome. Like it's great to see him do these deadlifts, and he has really good form. You can just it's so funny because you can just see like like the blood rushing through the body.
Yeah.
Like you can just see it, and like you can just see how good he feels after he drops the bar. He's just like a feeling like he might not ever felt before in his life. Like I feel powerful.
Awesome.
You know, so it's really cool. And just making sure you keep it at that, but you gotta stay high motivated. I gotta stay myself. I'm not changing for anybody. You know, I can't. Like, I don't know how to do that.
Right.
I'm full go, or I'm not gonna say I'm full go. I'm moderated, but you're gonna get high motivation at all times.
And that's awesome too, because like you're saying, with that older crowd, they need that. You see, sometimes I've been at the gym and you see these younger PTs out here with the older folks, and they're just like with their clipboard, like, do 2 more of those medicine balls, 3-pound medicine balls. They probably got their phone on the clipboard or something too.
No,
like,
man, the cool thing is, I actually helped. Like, I sat in on them getting the personal training. They had to meet the trainer before they even got the membership. So I sat in. They're both New Yorkers. Both worked on Wall Street, and just big, like, you know, just smart, very, very smart. You know, very, very intellectual people, and about, you know, from the East Coast. They about it.
Right. They ain't wasting no time.
Don't hold no words. Like, I came to the gym in this. The first time I had to wear it, I came to the gym. I walk in, she's looking at me like this. And then she looked at me, she said, "I thought you was married." I said, "What you talking about?"
That's probably the nicest way she could have said it too.
She's like, "That fanny pack." I was like, "Oh yeah, my black one broke. I had to wear this." You know, I was just trying to play it off. I was like, but I love her to death. You know, she's just hardcore. Like she's like, I come from a business where I worked with all men. Like I
right. So she knows that water
with nothing. So
what's the saying again? The water hole talk.
Yeah.
In the offices and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, they're just
it's one of the things that they, you know, it's really awesome, but you know, keeping them feeling young.
And then I would assume that the dietitian approach is a little bit softer, right?
Yes, that's so funny. I know I'm like hearing what he's saying, and I feel like that works for him and his people, right? I know I'm like, mine's a little different. Well, and it's kind of funny because by the time
eat your peas. Eat your peas.
I pity the fool.
That didn't sound like that. That was insane.
Imagine me saying that. Eat your peas. But I feel like by the time people get to us, they're just so beat down. They just feel like they don't know how to eat. They're so sick of dieting. They think they need to be on another diet. They come to us I feel like beaten down is really the best word for it. So we're there to listen to them. I do a lot of listening with my job versus talking. So I know it's kind of funny to be talking so much here, but listening to them, seeing what they need, and then kind of going from there. So I feel motivated as a dietitian and as an individual, but I feel like what I've learned over time is I can't work harder than my patient. Like I can't want it more for my patient than they want it for themselves, because that's a really easy way to get burnt out. And I feel like I've been burnt out, and I'm doing good now. I've been a dietitian for 6 years, so not even that long, but yeah, I feel like there was a little period of time where I felt like I just kind of was working too hard for my patient.
And you're more worried about what they're doing and what kind of bad choices they might be making than they're just out there doing it. Like, I guess I'll eat a third Snickers.
You're like, but it's funny because I feel like to get them motivated, we use something called motivational interviewing, which I don't know if you guys have heard of, but it's really neat. It really gets them to think about, well, why did I even come here in the first place? You know, why am I at this appointment? What do I want? And then they're the ones creating the goals, and you're there kind of alongside supporting them and, you know, kind of maneuvering the conversation in a way if it gets to a lull and they don't have anything they want to focus on. But people always have something they want to focus on. People always have something somewhere they're willing to start. So that's kind of how I do my sessions with my patients. I mean, we teach them things, of course, but I feel like you just need to let them get it all out there from the beginning. You need to hear some of the things that might not be true that they're saying. You know, I want to go on the keto diet. I want to do this. It's like, okay, Cheryl, I'll listen to that, you know, in my head. But then when they're ready, providing the right advice, I feel like is how we do it as dietitians, or I feel like how we should be doing it. You might ask another dietitian, they have a different approach, but that's Yeah,
That's your approach.
that's where it's at for me.
That's good though. That's really good. I actually used to I like to compare stuff a lot so people can fully understand and get where my head's going and make connections and stuff too. So I had a brief moment where I actually was a LA Fitness membership salesman, and I used to do a very similar approach to my clients. My boss used to get upset because I would literally have like hour and a half conversations with my clients, but he couldn't really get mad because he's like, dude, you're at like 80% sales, but you spend like an hour, 2 hours with these people. Like, what's going on? I'm like, well, I figure out exactly why they're here and exactly what they want. And then I become their friend. And they're not walking out on their friend. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I do exactly what you guys have taught me to do. I sit down, I build a rapport, I find out their why, find out what they're actually doing to achieve that why, and why they're not doing this, because they're here now for this. So why are you doing that and not this? And it would just all make sense in the end. So I totally agree with that style. Unfortunately, but fortunately, I wasn't sales, so I did kind of like curveball it a few times towards people and get the sale because of the position I was in. But I really think that it's a really, really good approach because it lets the client put down their walls and put down their boundaries when they're talking to you. They'll be more open. You'll become more trustworthy, and they'll tell you the truth instead of being like, "Oh yeah, well I eat four cups of spinach every day," knowing darn well they haven't bought spinach in months. Just because I'm with a dietitian. Let me tell her what I think she wants to hear, so we can get this done with. So that's awesome. I like that approach. And like I said, I assumed it was going to be pretty much opposite. You can't be like, eat your peas.
Yeah, because people do not like when you tell them what to do. That's
Right.
like number one is like if I told somebody to do something, they want to do the opposite.
Mhm.
So I've kind of learned, how to go through some of those
Got to
situations.
do that reverse psychology sometimes. Like, fine, don't eat your peas. I don't care.
And I will say that, somebody will be like, well, I thought you were going to get mad at me because I didn't have my vegetables. And I'm like, I'm not mad at you. Like,
Right.
I'm here to help you.
Right. And in the end, it's on you. You gotta. It's if you
It's true.
do you want to live to 85 or 75, eat your vegetables.
Yep.
What are we looking at, Jimmy? 7.
minutes.
Huh?
52 minutes.
Oh snap! I was 1 minute off. Okay, so we're gonna jump real quick into I'm gonna do it a little different real quick because I kind of want to talk about this pyramid thing real quick. So, since you guys aren't technically business owners, normally at the end I do a segment called "We Building Boy," and then I give the entrepreneurs time to kind of promote themselves, let anybody know contact information, anything like that. So instead of doing that at the end, since you guys aren't actual entrepreneurs and don't own your business, I'll let you do it now in case there is anything you guys can provide, or if someone just wants to talk to you and gain more knowledge because you guys been over here dropping gems, and someone just might be like, you know what, I just want to get some more information off of these people. So right now, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, and then we're gonna come back to this food pyramid. But if you guys want to drop any plugs, any contact info, or anything like that, the floor is yours right now for you guys.
I think I'll just give an email,
An email?
honestly.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
If somebody wants to reach out to me to work with me, or if they want to explore their relationship with food, intuitive eating, they can reach out to me at dbeebe57@gmail.com. I'd be happy to work with them.
Awesome. So that's her email. I'm not gonna repeat that because it was too intricate for me at the moment. But Ms. Debbie, if you do want to reach out to her, go ahead and rewind it and get the email. Any dietitian questions or anything like that, she'd be more than happy to help you out. Anything for you, Travis?
Yeah, no, I mean, you get me up. It's pretty simple. Travis.smith5252 at hotmail.com. Again, questions, anything like that. Even if, you might be looking for some fitness training help, definitely can email me. Probably gonna be the best way to get a hold of me. Cause I know I don't answer. I don't look, well, you can text me 785-424-4435. I'll take a text. If you call, I'll be honest with you, I'll just look at it. So, Don't
Especially
call.
if you're not saved.
So, but yeah, any questions, any thoughts, concerns, ideas, I'm always here to try and help out and kind of go from there.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for giving me your time and coming to hang out with us, drop some gems. I know there's plenty more you guys could share with us. So possibly in the future, we could do a repeat or something like that and get some more knowledge. I had a couple more questions for you guys too, but we're getting kind of short and I really want to touch on this food pyramid thing real quick. So I'm not sure if all you guys heard. You guys haven't fully heard. I'm not sure if you heard, Jimmy, but there was an attempt at revising the food pyramid. Yes, all you peers out there, you guys may remember from the late 70s, 80s, something like that. They had the food pyramid. It looked like an actual pyramid, and they had each layer was supposed to be so many servings of food. So let me see right here. I had a little bit of notes. The old pyramid presented foods in an actual pyramid-like hierarchy. Grains at the bottom, highest amount of servings, going up in lower serving amounts, indicating the less healthier diet choices. So as you went up the food pyramid, the original one, the portion sizes or the amount of serving sizes you have per day lessened, kind of indicating the less healthier food was at the top of the pyramid and the more healthier food was at the bottom of the pyramid. So, oh yes, you got it up there. Thanks, Jimmy. So the old school one, it had the grains at the bottom, saying that's going to be one of your most healthiest choices, and that's where you want to start when you start your days with the grains. And then they're saying that the fats and the oils and the sweets are going to be at the very top of the pyramid, and that's the stuff you want to have very limited amounts. Okay, so that's the old one, and then they tried to revise a new one. The new pyramid I have seen in two major ways. One, I really like the idea, but the actual picture is a little confusing. This is the one I was talking about that incorporates the exercising. So the picture is a little confusing, but I kind of like the concept of it. What I really like about this one, and then if you could switch to the other one with the guy running up there, if you get it, I'm not sure if you did it already, but just making sure, sir. Thank you. I like this one because it incorporates the importance of exercise. This diagram suggests about that we should be active for about 30 minutes a day, most days of the week. I kind of like how they didn't put an actual number. I would say like 3 to 4 if someone asked me a number, but it just says most days of the week, which is still technically, if you break it down, 3 or 4, most days of the week. And it says children should have about 60 minutes most days of the week. They also suggest that 60 to 90 minutes of daily physical activity may lead to preventing weight gain or sustained weight loss. This new pyramid suggests, according to a 2,000 calorie diet, grains are now at 6 ounces. And I believe this is all for the day. Grains now at 6 ounces. Veggies are at 2.5 cups. Fruits are at 2 cups. Milks, dairies, cheeses, stuff like that are at 3 cups. Meat and beans are at 5.5 ounces. And oils is so small it doesn't even have a measurement. But if you're seeing the picture, if you're a viewer and you're seeing the picture over here, I think this area, you might see a yellow line. That's going to be your oils, the little thin oil line. So it's still at the top of the pyramid. So they suggest your oils come from your fish, your nuts, your veggie oils. They want you to limit solid fats like butter, margarine, lard, saturated fats, um, not trans, but trans fat. Gosh, what's the trans fat again?
Are you,
Trans something. I forget. But yeah, you know what I mean. That's what it says on the box. It doesn't have it fully spelled out on the box anyways.
oh,
What?
I didn't want to interrupt. Maybe saturated fats. Did they say anything about saturated?
Yeah, it says saturated fats, and then I forget what trans. No, not
Honestly,
translucent.
I don't really know what we just say trans fats.
Trans
I
fat.
have
Okay.
to-
Yeah, and that's what I was saying.
brush
Like
up
now
on
that I
that.
think about it, like if you're a label reader, I don't think it's ever spelled out
It's so
on the
hard
box.
to read the
So
labels.
yeah, keep your trans fats and your sodium and added sugar low. So what do you guys think about that? I know I kind of went through it a little quick, but what do you guys think about the old pyramid compared to the new pyramid?
Oh, trans unsaturated fats.
Transsaturated. That's what it is. Transsaturated. That's what it is.
I mean, I think that's why I was such a kind of a fat kid when I was younger, because
Of our food
because that
pyramid.
damn food pyramid. I don't know how
Right.
to read that. I ain't trying to figure that out. It's weird because I don't even talk about a food pyramid. I honestly forgot even. I haven't heard the word
Right.
food pyramid until you said it today, and probably over 10 years. I feel like.
Honestly, though, I forget how it popped up on me, but it popped up on me somehow last week, and I was just like, "Oh man, I got Travis coming on. I need to incorporate that somehow and see what they think about it."
The more I do this fitness thing, the more I feel like that food pyramid thing is a piece of shit. I'm not even gonna front.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that,
I mean, we
I
can
think
talk off camera what my real ideals
it's kinda
of the
dumb,
food pyramid
and
is.
that you just need to have a knowledge of, just have a knowledge of food itself. Like,
Mhm.
there's no need to put it in some pyramid to help you remember the crap. Like, like that almost makes it kind of harder for some when they're trying to read it. It almost is defeating. Like, it was defeating for me when
Right.
I was younger. So hearing all this extra stuff is, I mean, I get it. 60 minutes of work of play, and if for some, if it works, I guess if it does work, like if
Mhm.
that's what it helps for somebody, I'd say I can't. I mean, I guess I can't say anything negative about it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
And that's kind of how I want to be about it. I mean, I could say some negative stuff about it, but but publicly, that's how I want to be about it. I want to be positive about it because it's definitely better than the one we grew up with. Hands down. Like, it's definitely better
exercise has been like that.
suggestions and opinions than the one we grew up with. Just incorporating the activity and exercise alone. Like, they never talked about that when we were young.
Heck no.
But also, we didn't have video games. They kicked us out. You better go outside and come back home when that light come on. We didn't need to remember to exercise and be active. But what do you think? How do you feel about the old versus new? Or are you kind of in the same boat as Travis? Haven't really thought about it.
Well, it's kind of funny. I mean, I love the fact that they have the physical activity incorporated into maybe the newer idea of a food pyramid. I really like my plate, but I don't think it works for everybody. And I don't agree with every single piece of my plate, but I do like how it gives people a visual of, okay, I'm having lunch. How much of my plate could I make rice? How much could I make vegetables? I feel like it gives people a visual representation of what things could look like. Whereas I agree, I feel like the food pyramid, I remember looking at that and being like, well, how does that apply to
Mhm.
my day? But even with all of that said, it's like some people are vegetarian. So
Mhm.
the majority of what they're eating is going to be plants versus the proteins. And I think at the end of the day, it's a guideline, but I'll leave it at that. I feel like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
I could say so much more, but I know we're
Yeah, because just I mean, not to nitpick too much, but I'm just kind of confused how they have meat and beans as one category. Like, I mean, I understand maybe the protein. They're trying to connect legumes, protein legumes to
Answer that
meat.
question for us, LaDebra. How is that?
yeah, I think they're trying to put plant-based and animal-based proteins in the same category, but
Mhm.
I could go on and on about that too. But I
Yeah,
feel
and
like
then I'm
it's like, let's tell it.
I'm basically vegan, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm looking at it like,
Mm-hmm.
that seems like, why are you gonna separate my proteins and put it all the way up there when you want me to eat veggies first thing anyways? Shouldn't my proteins are gonna be in my veggies? But anyways, but yeah, I just wanted to bring it up and just see if because I'm just the average person. I like to think I have a little bit more knowledge in a little bit of places than the average person, but you guys definitely have way more knowledge than I do in dietitian and physical training. So I wanted to get your guys' opinion on the new versus the old. And I think we can all agree that it's definitely better than the old one. Like, trying to be as positive as possible about it. We can all agree that it's definitely better. Just alone with the physical activity, letting people know that, sometimes you got to put down the video game, sometimes you got to put down the cell phone and be active a little bit. 30 minutes, man. 30 minutes is only one episode. One episode. We done with our episode. Do you want your kudos?
Huh?
I said, you want your kudos?
Oh, yeah, I can do it.
Are you sure you want your kudos? I can skip it. Well, we getting towards the end. I think Jimmy's ready to go. His butt's itching as he walks away. But we're gonna give a round of applause to my engineer of all engineers, Mr. Jimmy the Brown Giant. Ho ho ho! That's the old one. He was starting it. He's like, man, I don't know about this brown giant, man. Like, I'm trying to be culturally responsible and say it's a brown giant and not a green giant. 7'10", 325 muscle. But anyways, yeah, we are getting close. Let's give another round of applause for my power couple spending some time with us today. Thank you, Mr. Travis and Ms. Debbie, for dropping those jewels and making some time to come hang out with us on Wealth for Generations today.
I just really wanted to say that.
What was that?
Number 2.
Number 2
Sorry,
what?
Me and my girlfriend, number 1. My girlfriend is 6 foot.
Girlfriend is 6 foot? Really?
Yeah, we play basketball together.
That's a power.
Yeah, we play basketball together. Like, it's the craziest shit ever. And I love it.
That's power couple right
like
there.
it's the funniest shit ever. I went to the gym and I was
Man,
like, hey, I'm gonna call my girlfriend up here. We're finna play 2-on-2.
Now I really feel sorry
It was
for
like-
the kids at the YMCA
it was like-
you be going to.
They be looking at me some type of way. I'm like, all right, bro.
When my girl get here,
She plays with Jason Terry. Her coach is Jason Terry.
Jason Terry.
He was in
Is that White
he was in
Chocolate?
NBA. That's Jason Williams.
Oh,
What they call
Jason
Jason-
Williams.
what they call
Jason
Jason
Terry.
Terry?
Why does that
I
sound
forgot what they
familiar?
called him.
He,
was on
played for the
Dallas for a
Suns or
long time.
something? Or he was on Dallas?
Like someone with a headband or something.
Oh,
he on
what's-
Jason Kidd Dallas?
No, that's not Scary Terry. That's Terry Rozier. I can't think of what they used to call Jason
Terry.
Terry.
I
Yeah,
think it was like the Jet.
Sounds familiar.
the Jet. There it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, his
the
most
Jet.
notable
she's out
highlight
here?
is getting dunked on by LeBron. I mean, if I'm being honest.
That's his most recent notable.
He doesn't play anymore, but yeah, that's his most noticeable.
He was one of those. He was really good though. He was a good.
He was talking shit to LeBron. and
Oh, why did I think
playing
he
on
was
the
a white
Celtics.
dude at first? Oh, yeah. Okay,
You know
I
what I'm
remember
talking
Jason
about.
Terry
And
now.
He threw it off the backboard, and LeBron big ass.
He was a point guard,
he
right?
Jumped over him.
Oh, that was him.
That was Jason Terry who got.
Oh man.
He was a point guard, right?
Number 1, number 2.
Or no?
Like a point guard, shooting guard.
Yeah, I feel like he was a little shorter
He
dude.
was shorter. Yep.
I mean, for basketball, he
I
probably
think he was a point guard.
tower
Bro,
over me.
That like
He's 6'2". I'm like, he's a little dude, little
That's
guard.
little in the league.
He's a little guard.
Hey, 6'2" is little in the league.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Oh, this is when he gets dunked on? Ooh, yeah, that was nasty. That'll make me retire.
Oh my god, damn!
It was a 3-on-1 though.
Hey,
That's still getting jumped
he
over.
could at least got out the way.
Right? If I would have saw that
man,
3-on-1
didn't
coming,
know.
I would have just been like, all right, man, y'all just let me try to get this charge.
Well,
That just,
dude.
all that does is just prove my point about LeBron again. I am not getting in the paint while his big ass is coming towards me.
You should have tried to pull that charge. That's what you should have
Hell
tried to
nah.
do.
You gonna look stupid on the poster.
But anyways, we a little over. We like to have fun here and keep it organic, but I think Dip ain't gonna be really appreciative if I go like a half an hour over. Not too much at least. So on that note, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up. We got one more applause, and you know what that's for. That's for all you viewers, supporters, all you guys out there. Thank you so much for viewing, supporting, and being there for me and Wealth for Generations and our free trial labor and Travis and Debbie. But on that note, you know what it is. Peace.